Welcome, dear listener, to the Unveiled, your sanctuary of serenity and repose. As dusk looks the world in its gentle embrace, we embark on a tranquil journey to the realm of slumber. This is a place where worries dissolve into the quietude of twilight. Nestle into your coziest corner. Let your eyelids grow heavy and surrender to the embrace of the evening's peaceful arms. In these moments, release the grip of dating and welcome the serene passage that lies ahead. Together, old true dreams weave their magic around your soul. Let's begin our nightly expedition to a land where restful peace and dreamy adventures intertwine. A shared journey of knowledge and love. Chapter 1: The Whispering Winds. The monastery stood solemnly amidst the towering peaks, its ancient walls echoing centuries of whispered prayers. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, a symphony of nature awakened a gentle rhythm of leaves, rhythmic linking of prayer bells. In this serene world, disconnected from the chaos of cities and technology, with Tenzin, a young one whose spirit paradoxically turbulence. Tenzin. They began as it always did, in the dim tranquility of the monastery's main hall. The air was cool and imbued with the scent of incense, a fragrance that had become a constant in his life. Around him, rows of monks sat in meditative silence, their saffron robes a sea of calm. Yet, within Tenzin a stream of questions raged, chewed up by the peace that enveloped him. As he sat trying to meditate, his mind drifted. He thought of the ancient texts he had read the night before, filled with tales of monks who had ventured beyond these worlds. Tenzin, his heart ached with a longing he couldn't name, a yearning for something more, something beyond the teachings he had studied since childhood. Lama-san, an elder monk with eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages, had once told him, true understanding often lies beyond the reach of comfort. These words echoed in Tenzin's mind, mingling with his doubts. Could the path to true peace lie outside the monastery, in the world he had left behind? The linking of the prayer bells brought him back to the present. The hall slowly emptied as the monks filed out to begin their daily chores. Tenzin too rose, his feet carrying him through the familiar corridors. The stone walls, adorned with ancient Welcom paintings, bore silent witness to his internal struggle. Outside, the monastery gardens were a testament to the meticulous care of the monks. Flowers in vibrant hues of blue, red, and yellow bloomed in abundance, and the air was alive with the buzzing of bees. Tenzin began his work in the garden, his hands moving methodically to remove weeds, his actions a meditation in themselves. Yet, even this did not quiet his restless soul. As he worked, the sun climbed higher, casting a golden glow over the mountains. The beauty of the scene was not lost on Tenzin, but it was as if he viewed it through a veil, unable to fully connect with the peace it offered. The day passed in a blur of activity gardening, studying scriptures, and attending teachings. But through it all, Tenzin now remained elsewhere, yearning for that unknown, for a truth he felt was just beyond his grasp. As night fell, the monastery once again settled into silence. Tenzin lay in his simple bed, the darkness around him a mirror to the questions that clouded his mind. Sleep eluded him as he pondered his path. The teachings of his elders, in the whispering winds that seemed to calm him to a journey yet untaken. In the deep stillness of the night, Tenzin made a decision. He would seek permission to leave monastery, to embark on a pilgrimage of discovery. The thought filled him with both excitement and fear, but he knew it was a path he had to take. The response sets the scene and introduces the main character, Tenzin, highlighting his internal conflict in the setting of the monastery. The narrative uses sensory details to create a vivid picture of the environment and Tenzin's emotions, setting the stage for his upcoming journey. In the early hours of the morning, when the sky was still a tapestry of stars, Tenzin approached the quarters of Nanasanam. The air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of juniper used in the monastery's daily rituals. His footsteps were light, almost reverent, as he made his way through the sleeping corridors. Lama Sanam, already awake as was his habit, greeted Tenzin with a knowing look. "What burdens your heart, young Tenzin?" he asked, his voice a gentle echo in the quiet room. The room was simple, with only a small bed and a wooden desk where ancient texts and modern digits attesting to Limasabasajasadam. Tenzin hesitated, then spoke. "I feel a calling, Lama. A calling that I believe cannot be answered within these walls." His words hung in the air, filled with a mixture of fear and determination. Lama Sananal nodded slowly, his eyes reflecting the flickering light of the brighter lamp. The path to enlightenment is not the same for all. Sometimes it requires us to step into the unknown, he said, his tone bearing the weight of experience. Tenzin's heart raced with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "I seek your blessing, Lama, to embark on a pilgrimage, to explore, to understand, to find what I am missing." For a moment, the room was silent, save for the soft crackling of the lamp. Then Lama Sanam spoke. "Your journey is your own, Tenzin. You have my blessings. But remember, the answers you seek might not be out in the world, but within you." Tenzin bowed deeply, gratitude and resolve filling him. As he left Lama Sanam's quarters, the first light of dawn was breaking, casting a golden hue over the snow-mapped mountains. It was a sight he had seen countless times, yet it felt different now, as if signifying the beginning of a new chapter. The monastery was stirring to life as he walked back to his quarters. Monks in deep red robes moved silently, starting their daily routines. Tenzin packed his few belongings: a robe, a bowl of scriptures, and a small, solar-powered device for navigation. Concern. He joined the others for the morning prayers, his voice blending into the chorus of chants that filled the hall. Yet his mind was on the path that lay ahead. He observed his brothers, their faces serene and focused, a stark contrast to the turmoil he felt inside. Breakfast was a simple affair, barley porridge, and herbal tea. Tenzin ate in silence, his thoughts a whirlwind of anticipation and doubt. He noticed the curious glances from some of the younger monks, word of his impending departure having spread. After breakfast, Tenzin approached the monastery's gate. It was a massive wooden structure, weathered by time, standing as a silent guardian. As he pushed it open, a gust of wind swept through, as if beckoning him forward. Stepping outside, Tenzin looked back at the monastery, its golden roof shimmering in the morning sun. It had been his home, his sanctuary, but now he felt a strange sense of detachment. He turned away, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and exhilaration. The path ahead was uncertain, winding down the mountain into the forests below. Tenzin took a deep breath, the cool air filling his lungs, and began his descent. With each step, he felt as though he was shedding a part of himself, leaving behind the known for the unknown. The forest welcomed him with open arms, its canopy a kaleidoscope of greens and browns. Birds sang from hidden perches, and the smell of earth and leaves was intoxicating. Tenzin walked on, each step taking him further from his old life, closer to the journey of self-discovery that awaited. A forest thinned as Tenzin ventured further, giving way to a rugged landscape dotted with small villages. The sun, now high in the sky, cast a warm glow over the land, illuminating the patchwork of fields and streams. The distant sounds of village life drifted towards him, the clatter of tools, the laughter of children. It was a stark contrast to the mietude of the monastery, filling Tenzin with a sense of curiosity and an unspoken longing. In the first village he encountered, Tenzin was met with cautious stares. His monks were a rare sight in these parts, and his presence sparked curiosity among the villagers. A group of children, older than the rest, approached him, their eyes wide with wonder. "Are you a wizard?" One of them asked, her voice a mixture of awe and suspicion. Tenzin smiled, kneeling to be at eye level with the children. "Oh, I am a monk on a journey," he explained gently. Their innocent questions reminded him of his own childhood, filled with wonder and a thirst for knowledge. An elderly man, noticing the gathering, approached Tenzin. "Where, traveler? I am Doji, the village elder. What brings you to our humble village?" His voice was tinged with a warmth that eased Tenzin's apprehension. Tenzin shared his story, speaking of his quest for understanding and peace. Doji listened intently, his face weaved with lines that spoke of a life rich with experience. "You are brave to seek answers beyond the known," Doji said. "Stay with us tonight. You'll find shelter and a meal here." Grateful, Tenzin accepted the offer. The village, though small, was a hive of activity. People went about their tasks with a sense of purpose that Tenzin admired. He helped where he could, drawing water from the well, a task so different from his duties at the monastery. The physicality of it was refreshing, grounding him in a way meditation never had. As evening fell, the village gathered for a communal meal. Tenzin was struck by the sense of community. so different from the solitary life he was used to. The food was simple but hearty, and the conversation was lively, filled with stories and laughter. Tenzin listened to the villagers' tales, stories of hardship and joy, love and loss. It was a world he had been sheltered from, and every story was a window into a life he had never known. He heard his own experiences, speaking of the monastery and its teachings. The villagers listened with rapt attention, their faces a canvas of emotions, curiosity, wonder, and in some, a hint of longing. Later, as he lay in a borrowed bed, the sounds of the village around him, Tenzin felt a profound sense of connection. These people, with their simple lives and complex emotions, were a part of the world he had left behind. Their joys and sorrows were as real as any he had known in the monastery. He realized that understanding them was crucial to understanding himself. The night was a symphony of unfamiliar sounds, the barking of dogs, the whispering of the wind through the trees, the distant laughter of someone still awake. It was a world alive in a way that was both exhilarating and overwhelming. His sleep finally claimed him. Tenzin's last thoughts were the journey ahead. He knew that this village was just the first of many stops, each with its own lessons to teach. He was, at once, both a teacher and a student, a seeker on an endless path to enlightenment. Dawn greeted Tenzin with a chorus of birdsong as he departed the village. The early morning air was crisp, carrying a mingled sense of earth and dew. He walked with a renewed sense of purpose, each step on a rugged path, anchoring him further in his journey of discovery. The landscape gradually changed, revealing rolling hills that stretched towards distant mountains. The sun, a radiant orb in the clear sky, bathed the world in a golden hue. Tenzin paused to take in the view, feeling a sense of awe at the vastness of the world beyond the monastery walls. As he journeyed, Tenzin encountered various travelers, each with their own story. A merchant, with guides but light-hearted, shared tales of distant cities where buildings touched the clouds and machines did the work of men. The blend of art and skepticism in merchant's voice when describing these marvels reminded Tenzin of the delicate balance between belief and doubt. In a small hamlet, Tenzin met a woman grieving the loss of her child. Her sorrow was a palpable force, and in her tear-streaked face, Tenzin saw the embodiment of life's fragility and the depth of human emotion. He offered silent companionship, realizing that sometimes presence was more comforting than words. The experience left him with a profound sense of empathy, a feeling that transcended the tranquility of his monastic prayers. By afternoon, Tenzin reached a crossroads marked by an ancient Bodhi tree. Its branches stretched skyward, as if in prayer. Beneath the tree sat an old man, his face etched with lines of wisdom. Intrigued, Tenzin approached him, greeting him with a bow. "I'm Tashi," the old man said, his voice as rough as the bark of the tree he sat under. "I see you are a mink. Tell me, will you seek on this path?" Tenzin shared his quest for understanding and peace. Tashi listened, nodding occasionally, his eyes reflecting a deep knowledge. The answers you seek are like the leaves of this tree, young monk. They will come to you in their own time, Tashi said, pointing to the body tree. They spoke for hours, the conversation flowing like a meandering river. Tashi, stories of his youth, filled with adventure and lessons. Learned the hard way. His words were a tapestry of wisdom, woven from a life lived fully. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows on the path, Tenzin thanked Tashi and continued his journey. The encounter had left him with much to ponder: the complexities of life's journey, the intertwining of joy and sorrow, and the wisdom gained through experience. The path led Tenzin through a dense forest, where the light played tricks between the trees, creating patterns of shadow and light. The forest was alive with sounds: the rustling of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the soft tread of unseen animals. It was a world of mystery and beauty, a stark contrast to the structured life of the monastery. As night fell, Tenzin found a clearing to rest. The stars were a brilliant canopy above, each were a distant world, a reminder of the vastness of the universe. He lay there, wrapped in his robe, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. The journey so far had been a tapestry of encounters, each person a thread contributing to his understanding of the world. Tenzin realized that the path to peace was not just about introspection, but also about connection to people, to nature, to the myriad existences of life. In the silence of the forest, with the silence as his witness, Tenzin drifted into sleep, his heart open to the lessons that awaited him at the next sun. As dawn broke, casting a soft light through the forest, Tenzin awoke to the gentle sound of a nearby stream. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of pine, and the earthy aroma of the forest floor. He rose, feeling a sense of tranquility, his mind clear for the first time since leaving the monastery. Continuing his journey, Tenzin followed the stream, its waters a constant companion, babbling stories only nature could tell. The path eventually led him to a bustling market in a small town, a stark contrast to the quiet of the forest. The air was filled with the cacophony of voices, the clanging of metal, and the smells of spices and cooked food. Tenzin navigated through the crowd, observing the myriad of human interactions. A vendor haggled passionately over the price of his wares. A mother soothed her crying child, and two young men argued heatedly by a stall. Each scene was a vignette of life, raw and unfiltered. In this chaos, Tenzin's attention was drawn to a group of street performers. Their acrobatic feats and gests captivated the audience, creating a bubble of joy amidst the hustle of the market. One of the performers, a young woman with a radiant smile, noticed Tenzin's words and approached him after the performance. "You seem far from your temple, monk," she said, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "What brings you to our humble town?" Tenzin shared his quest, and the performer, whose name was Amma, listened intently. "Life is our greatest teacher," she said. "Each moment, a lesson, a mirror to our soul." Her words resonated with Tenzin, echoing the sentiments of the people he had met on his journey. Ama's troop invited him to join them for lunch, and he accepted, eager to immerse himself in their world. The meal was a lively affair, filled with laughter and stories. The troupe shared tales of their travels, the challenges they faced, and the joy they found in their art. Tenzin realized that their life, though vastly different from Haynes, was also a pursuit of happiness and meaning. As the day waned, Tenzin bid farewell to the troupe, their laughter and warmth lingering in his heart. He left the town, feeling enriched by the experience. The journey had broadened his perspective, each encounter adding a layer to his understanding of life. The path led him towards the mountains, their majestic peaks a silhouette against the setting sun. Tenzin felt a sense of anticipation, knowing that each step took him closer to new experiences, new lessons. As he walked, the last light of the day gave way to twilight, and the first stars appeared in the sky. The world around him was a harmony of light and shadow, a reflection of the dualities he had begun to understand. Cholo, Pia, and Tenzin realized that his journey was not just a quest for personal peace, but a journey into the heart of life itself. Each person he met, each experience he encountered, was a thread in the intricate tapestry of his quest. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind open to the wonders ahead, Tenzin continued his journey under the starry, ready for the lessons the next day would bring.